Hello students, in my first session we already started with the chemical reaction and equation chapter number 3 from science first. We already just take a recap for that. We already studied about the chemical reaction, then describing a chemical reaction, that means indication of the chemical reaction. Then next we already done with the sign of the chemical reaction. Then chemical equations, the example I had given to you about the aluminium oxide. Then chemical equation, how to write and how to read it. Then what is chemical equation, what is the law of conservation of matter. Then we did with our experiment about this, try this reaction. Then we come for chemical equation, we complete with chemical equation, what is reactant, what is product, what is chemical equation, how reactants give rise to product. Then we done with unbalanced and balanced equation. Then we deal with balancing chemical equation, what points are we have to be remind while balancing equation. Then steps of balancing equation, the 4 step we studied. Number 1 step, step number 2, then step number 3, then step number 4, now today I'm just going to deal with the type of chemical reaction. Now when we talk about type of chemical reaction, the chemical reaction are classified into the following 4 type in accordance with the nature and the number of the reactant and the product. Number 1 is your combination reaction, where you see the basic principle, that is A plus B give rise to AB. Combination, that means combining something. That means A plus B. When we combine AB, what we are going to get? A plus B give rise to AB. Then decomposition reaction. Here you are looking that AB give rise to A plus B. Here decomposition, that means breakdown. Breakdown is take place. Now the next is displacement reaction, which is also called a replacement reaction. Now what we are finding, that A plus BC give rise to AC. Here the C is going to be combined with A and give rise to AC plus B. Now next, double displacement reaction, that AB plus CD give rise to AD plus CB. Here at the two place the displacement take place. Now let's come for the combination reaction, direct combination reaction. When we talk about this, I'm taking the example of Na2 plus Cl2, which is give rise to 2 NaCl. Here when you see 2 molecule of Na is given and 2 molecule of chlorine is given, when it is react, the Na is combined with chlorine and form NaCl. The 2 molecule of NaCl we are getting. The general formula of combination reaction is A plus B give rise to AB. A is your element or compound, B is also your element and compound, but here we are going to get a compound as a product. Now when we talk about the combination reaction, just see this example about the magnesium ribbon, that means Mg, when it is react with oxygen, so what it is going to be give rise? It is going to be give rise MgO, magnesium oxide powder. When we burn this magnesium ribbon in the presence of oxygen, here we are going to be get MgO. The magnesium is a different, which is react, that means plus, with oxygen gas, it give rise to MgO powder. It is a, when you see here, the elements are there, two elements. When it's, we are getting the product of compound. Now next is the decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction may be defined as the reaction in which a single substance is split into two or more substances. That means it is break down into two or more substances under a suitable condition. The decomposition reaction are mostly endothermic in the nature. Energy in the form of heat, light or electricity is generally absorbed in this reaction. It causes the cleavage or breaking of the bond in the reacting substance which decompose to give rise the product for the substance. For example, decomposition of potassium chloride. Now when you see here KClO3, potassium chloride give rise to 2KCl plus O2. Here when you see this is a compound one, it is break down in KCl. We are going to be KNCl is a 1, KCl is a one product, and O2. Here we are going to be getting here potassium chloride and oxygen, the two products, the two elements in the as a products. One is a compound and one is a element. Now when we talk about decomposition reaction, just see here we are taking the one more example of H2O, that is your water. You are finding this, the O and two hydrogen is covered with one oxygen, H2O one molecule, H2O two molecule, because we are writing 2 H2O, so 2 molecule of H2O. It give rise to the hydrogen plus oxygen. It is dissociating. It is giving a 2 molecule of hydrogen and oxygen. The general formula is A plus B give rise to AB. AB is your compound. It is giving a 2 elements or 2 compound. That is your A plus B. Now displacement reaction, which is also called replacement reaction. Displacement reaction may be defined as the chemical reaction in which one element takes the position or place of another elements present in the compound. The displacement reaction are very common in the metals. Normally a more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal present as it is salt dissolved in the water. The reaction is often known as a metal displacement reaction. Here we are going to take an example of zinc displace iron from the aqueous solution of ferrous sulfate. See the formula of zinc. Here zinc, FeSO4, that is your ferrous sulfate. Here what happened here? Here FeSO4 dissociate, and here zinc is attached with SO4, zinc sulfide, and the ferrous is remain as it is. This is the displacement reaction. What happened here? The zinc is attached with SO4, right? So we are getting a zinc sulfate and ferrous is remain as it is. We are getting a 2 products, but in the difference somewhat displacement taken place. Now when we talk about double displacement reaction. Now when we talk about the double displacement reaction, here it is may be defined as the chemical reaction in which one component each of both the reacting molecule get exchanged to form the product. This means that double displacement has taken place. For example, a simple example, a white precipitate of beryllium sulfate is immediately formed as a result of a double displacement reaction. Now see here, when we talk about this, beryllium chloride BaCl2 plus Na2SO4, it gave rise to BaSO4 and NaCl. Now here when you talk about BaCl, here this dissociate, Na2 or SO4 is dissociate. Here Ba is react with sulfate, beryllium sulfate is formed. Here Na is react with Cl2, so NaCl is formed. Here two reactants are there, two compound reactants are there. They are dissociated and just displaced to each other. Double displacement take place and we are getting the product which having a double displacement product. Now see here the simple example of this single replacement and displacement. The general formula is A plus BC give rise to AC plus B, and when you see about double displacement reaction, the general formula is AB plus CD give rise to AD plus CB. Now come for the exothermic and endothermic reaction. Now when we talk about the endothermic or exothermic reaction, what do you mean by this? Reaction which is accompanied by the evolution of heat is known as exothermic reaction, whereas reaction accompanied by the absorption of heat is known as endothermic reaction. A simple heat is absorbed and given away is a various process, and a reaction accordingly process and reaction are classified as a exothermic and endothermic reaction. For example, when we talk about this exothermic and endothermic process, heat from outside is absorbed during some physical change. For example, melting of ice, freezing of water in melting of ice is an example of endothermic reaction. Same as when the freezing of water is an exothermic reaction. Exothermic and endothermic are reversible of each other. When we talk about this endothermic process, on the other hand, heat is given away during the some physical change. For when we talk about the formation of ice in the water, dissociation of sodium hydroxide in water, this all are the exothermic process. In the process of dilution of a concentrated sulfuric acid with the water, a very large amount of heat is liberated. As a result, water get evaporated instantaneously. If it is poured into the concentrated sulfuric acid, which may cause an accident. To avoid this, required amount of water is taken in a glass container and a small quantity of concentrated sulfuric acid at the time is added while stirring. Therefore, only a small amount of heat is liberated at that time. Now, when we talk about the endothermic here, same thing is going to be happen. There is an exchange of heat in a chemical reaction as well. Accordingly, some chemical reaction are exothermic while some are endothermic. During exothermic chemical reaction, heat is given away where reactants are transferred into the product, while during exothermic chemical reaction, heat is either absorbed from the surrounding or has to be supplied continuously from outside. Now, when we talk about the factor affecting the rate of a chemical reaction, the reactant concentration. Increase the concentration of one or more reactant will often increase the rate of reaction. This occurs because of a high concentration of reactant will lead to more collision of the reactant in the specific time period. Number 2, physical state of the reactant and surface area. If reactant molecule exists in a different phase as in a heterogeneous mixture, the rate of the reaction will be limited by the surface area of the phases that are in contact. For example, If a solid metal reactants and the gas reactant are mixed, only the molecule present on the surface of the metal are able to collide with the gas molecule, therefore increasing the surface area of the metal by pounding it flat or cutting it into many pieces will increase the rate of reaction or reaction rate. Now when we talk about the next is your temperature. An increase in temperature typically increase the rate of reaction. An increase in temperature will raise the average kinetic energy of reactant molecule. Therefore, a greater proportion of molecule will have to minimum energy necessary for effective collision. While studying decomposition reaction, you have carried out the decomposition of limestone in this now limestone, when we talk about the limestone, what we are going to be do, the limestone, when the lime water does not turn milky before heating, the limestone, because of a zero rate of reaction, what happened in this activity, the lime water does not turn milky before heating, but the limestone become, because of the zero rate of reaction, it become somewhat milky. From this, what we are going to be learn about, the reaction is increasing in temperature. Now when we talk about the catalyst, a catalyst is a substance that accelerate a reaction by precipitating it without being consumed. Catalyst provided an alternate reaction pathway to obtain product. They are critically to many biochemical reaction. This will be examined further in the section catalysis. The substance in whose present the rate of the chemical reaction, whose presence the rate of the chemical reaction change without causing any chemical change to it, that is called a catalyst. If the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide in the water and oxygen take place slowly at the room temperature, however, the same reaction occur as fast rate on adding magnesium oxide powder in it. If we are taking just hydrogen peroxide in water and oxygen take place slowly at the room temperature when it is mixing, what happen if we want to fast the reaction rate, what we have to add? We have to add magnesium dioxide powder in it. So what happened as that when we are adding, what happened here? The rate of reaction increased. Now, what do you mean by oxidation and reduction? Let's start learning about this. Many type of substance give reaction called oxidation and reduction. Now, oxidation can be defined as addition of oxygen, electronegative element to the substance, or removal of hydrogen, that means electropositive element from a substance. Reduction can be defined as removal of oxygen, electronegative element from a substance, or addition of hydrogen, electropositive elements to the substance. Now when you see here, copper oxide plus Mg, magnesium, give rise to, here what happened here, the oxygen is removed. When you see here, this part, what you are finding here, Cu plus MgO we are finding here. Now yeah, oxidation increases of oxygen number. When you see here, you are finding 2 plus, and here what happened here, here the downside you are finding the reduction, decrease of oxygen number. Here when you see in the copper, you are finding decreasing in the oxygen number, and here in magnesium you are finding the increase in oxygen number. This is your oxidation and reduction example. Now reduction and oxidation reaction is also called one more thing, that is your redox reaction. A reduction and oxidation reaction is commonly called redox reaction for short. Now, oxidation always accompanies reduction. One atom must lose electron and another must pick up that electron. The simple what we already seen in this reaction here, what we are finding here, copper lost the oxygen, here magnesium gain the oxygen. That means in this equation also oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously, so that means it is a redox reaction. The number of electron loses must be equal to the number of gained electron. Now let's come for the corrosion. The word corrosion is as old as the earth itself. Corrosion is the damage of material as a result of reaction with its environment. Corrosion is a natural process of destruction, can be prevented or at least controlled. Now let's do one experiment on corrosion. Observe this 4 test tube. In one test tube, oil layer on the boiled water. Under that one nail is there. In second, salt solution we are taking and nail is there. In third, air is present, nothing is there. That means air is present. One nail is there. In the last nail is there. The cork is there on test tube. Air and anhydrous calcium chloride is present in it. Now the apparatus is your 4 test tube, 4 small iron nails, rubber cork, etc. Chemical we are using anhydrous calcium chloride, oil, boil water, etc. Now let's see the procedure. Place 4 test tube on a test tube stand. Take a small boiled water in one test tube and put an oil layer on it. Take some salt water in the second test tube. Let there be only air in the third test tube. Take some anhydrous calcium chloride in the fourth test tube. Place a small iron nail in every test tube. Close the fourth test tube with a rubber clock. Let all the 4 test tubes remain unattended for a few days. Observe all the 4 test tubes after a few days. What did you find? Which test tube had the nail as before? Both water and air are necessary for rusting. The rusting process takes place rapidly in presence of a salt. Have you seen the effort of redox reaction in your everyday life? The new vehicle looks shiny, on the contrary, old vehicle look dull, as a certain type of reddish color soil layer collected on their metallic surface. This layer is called a rust. The rusting on iron does not form a simple reaction of oxygen with iron surface. The rust is formed by an electrochemical reaction. Different region of the surface of iron become anode and cathode. Now, when we talk about this here, when you observe this, what you are finding? Oil is there on the boiled water. That means the nail is not reacted with the oxygen which is present in atmosphere. That means iron does not rusted. Salt solution, here we already seen the we already learned the rusting process take place rapidly in presence of salt. So that means rusting take place on in test tube 2 nail. Air is present. Here also air is present. That means rusting take place, but air and anhydrous calcium chloride is there. Here rusting is not take place because it is anhydrous. That means anhydrous does not contain any water. So what happened here? The atmospheric air oxygen molecule which in the atmosphere which contain the moisture in it, the anhydrous calcium chloride absorb that moisture in it. So what happened here? The nail does not rust or corrode. Now let's come to for rancidity. So simple thing is, when the substance contain oil and fats are exposed to air, they get oxidized and become rancid, due to which there is smell, taste and color change. When we use all lefted overcooked oil for making food stuff, it is found to have foul odor called rancidity. If food is cooked in such oil, its taste also change. When oil or ghee is left aside for a long time, or a fried food is left aside for a long time, it undergoes air oxidation and become rancid. Rancidity in the food stuff cooked in oil or ghee is prevented by using antioxidants. The process of oxidation reduction of foodstuff can also be slowed down by storing in airtight container or kept under the refrigerator. Now when we talk about this here, what happened to the oil? You know about that, when you see the vendors of the vada pavs and all, what you are finding, their oil, when you observe their oil, they are using the oil continuously. You know, one day, if the day first they are using that oil, the oil is remaining in their kadai. What they are doing, they are using same oil in to another day, then they are using same oil in third day. But you are finding the thickness of oil, the concentration, the oil is become rancid. That oil give a concentrated appearance. So what happened here, when you see that the color of the oil also change, they show the pale or brown color oil. It is very, very, very harmful to the human health, because if you take that kind of rancid oil foods, maybe you are going to get chance to get a food poison, gastric problem, loose motion, etc. Now one more example, I have written there, the potato chips. When kept in air for a long time, just keep the potato chips for a long time, for 3 or 2 days, just allow it to be stand as it is, don't cover it, don't protect it. What you are finding, you are getting an unpleasant smell or a bad taste. When you taste it, it become very bad in taste. Here the rancidity, we able to control this rancidity. How we able to control? By using the refrigerator, or use that oil in another part. For example, if your mother is removing oil for frying something, if after frying the oil is remain in that pan, ask your mother to use that oil in another food preparation, or otherwise or maybe kept in a refrigerator. Now here we completed our chapter. So today we learn the chemical reaction and equation. In that we learn about what is the chemical reaction. We learn about the rule of writing the chemical reaction. We learn about the balancing and chemical equation and the type of reaction. Thank you so much.